Oh, Claudine.
Hello and welcome to Who Is Best, a show where I, Claudine, take games that give you choices and rate those choices in a tier list. Breath of Fire is a colorful series that prides itself in unique party members, field skills, turn-based combat, and fusion shenanigans. And it all started with the first title on the SNES, Breath of Fire 1. Now this list is incredibly straightforward. We're considering stats, accessibility, and that's about it. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more RPG tier lists. We'll start with the here. If you've watched my top 10 worst party members video, then you'll know that Gobi sucks. His usefulness in navigating water is useless by the time you get it, and his advantage in battle only comes while underwater, which will be done with the only water dungeon in the game by the time he joins. Aside from fusion fodder, there really isn't a reason to use him. Mogu is the last party member you obtain, and aside from his field skill, he is pretty useless. Sure, he could replace Nina if you really want a worse support unit, and you probably won't bother with fusion, so he's really an instant bench party member. The low tier. Ox seems to join just as Bo's usefulness is tapering off. He's incredibly tanky and has a decent attack as well, but he just is way too slow to consider using. He'll be gobbled up by Karn's fusions pretty soon after recruitment. The mid tier. The only reason Bo is here and not in the low tier is because he's one of your earliest party members, and in the early game will be your single best party member. He has starter spells, a long range attack, and decent stats to get you through the opening hours. After that, he loses most usefulness and, like Ox, will be mainly used as fusion material. The final member of the mid tier is Nina. Nina essentially is a required party member. She's your only true healer, as healing items are subject to the agility stat, but healing spells are not. Her spells are useful, though her damage will always be behind everyone else's. Despite this, she'll be on most people's endgame party. The top tier. First on the top tier is Blue. Blue is recruited in the mid-game and at a lower level, but her EXP growths are higher than anyone else's. This means that in the late to end game, she'll be a dozen levels higher. She has the highest HP and AP of nearly any party member, which allows her to tank hits while spamming spells like Bolt X during battle. All in all, she's one of the best party members in the game. And speaking of one of the best party members, Karn is a fast but essentially useless party member. That is until you gain the ability to fuse him with your bench members. Karn's stats will be boosted by every additional party member fused, ending at 4, though most players will just do 3. Bo, Ox, and Gobi. These fusions make him a god, and if they were placed earlier in your playthrough, and more easily accessible, he might have landed in the god tier. Speaking of, let's wrap this up with the god tier. Ryu is easily the best character in the game. You obviously have him from the beginning, and he has above average stats nearly all around. In normal battle, Ryu's boomerangs make him a mob clearing machine. But when one considers his dragon forms, it's obvious why he's at the top. The dragon forms give Ryu an incredible stat boost, and once you obtain endgame dragons like Rudra or Anji, there really isn't a single boss that can stand up to him. And that's our list. If it's not obvious, essentially the only logical endgame party would be Ryu, Karn fused, Blue, and Nina. Switch Nina for Mogu if you want some variety. Thank you to all my Patreon members, and if you would like to request your own list, click on the link below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Hey, thanks for watching again. Appreciate it. If you're interested, I also have a video on Breath of Fire 3. Have a good day.